You have to just put yourself in the habit that something is asked and I can answer that question sensibly. Just you have to be sensible. You have seen students are getting the top ranks with even less than 60%. It's a comparative performance. Less than 60%, it means that we should not be in any way getting intimidated. This is one thing. Your psychology throughout the preparation will impact what you are going to write on that. So feel confident, have a feel good factor. And I can tell that in no other optional, any teacher is doing what we will be doing here. So you are on an edge. The only thing is just be confident. You don't win war only by the weapons, also by the courage and the psychology. So it's always going to be, even exam is a psychological war. And you have to emerge intellectually smart, emotionally smart also. And the mindset you will have towards the exam, if you will have this mindset, things are difficult, it will start appearing difficult. If you have a mindset, things are very normal and I can do it. Today I have a letter of one of our toppers, I believe Saksham Jain, and in all crash courses, some like I give some idea or I talk just like I'm talking to you. Maybe in that crash course, I said that exam is not that difficult. He grasped the idea and in his letter, he told me that this has been a very positive impact, like this thing has been very beneficial for him. Fine. So I just want that you also understand it's not how much study you are going to do, but during this period of time, how you are going to manage your time and above all, manage your mindset. Fine. The only thing that letter I have brought here is this particular line where he has said that in your crash course, one line that you said, it is not very tough. Just perform average. Fine. Even if your performance is average, don't worry for value additions and many other things. Still you will be getting good ranks. People fail not because they don't study, but they allow themselves to fail. You please don't allow yourself to fail for any foolish reasons. Okay? So try to be smart, a smart person who in the next 5-6 months or a year will be given the charge something very, very responsible. Okay? So we cannot afford to be childish or immature or weak at any front. Studies come the last. Your psychology, your mindset is something that will help you to win. Fine. So I'm reading it further. It is not very tough. Just perform average in anything. Everything was really assuring. I used to recall every time and still quote it to my juniors. So we will start from this idea that things are not difficult. Things may be difficult for other optionals, not for us. Is that clear? Okay. And always, every year, the pattern which you follow in the last may not work because UPSC always come with unexpected, because you are prepared for something and their approach is to eliminate. So we will be preparing ourselves in the manner that prepares us for the most unexpected questions also. Just try to learn. A problem comes, be it theory, be it thought, how can we develop a thought process and write a sensible answer? So in this crash course, I will also take up 1 or 2 copies to show what mistakes we do when we write answers. Now, in any exam, the key to success or the successful strategy, I believe, is you work on your strengths. The portion where you are strong, where with little efforts you can get more marks. So look for your strong areas. And a good strategy will be have a good command over the static things rather than just worrying about the dynamic portion. Don't worry so much about quoting the thinkers. If you are quoting the thinkers without understanding it, it is of no use. So don't give this impression that you have mugged up the things and you have not understood it. This is not an exam of your proficiency in political science. It is an exam of your personality in going to be appropriate to put into administration. Understand this. That's why number of times those who do MA, PhD, they don't perform well, and students getting the nerve of the exam, coming with engineering and other background, they are able to perform. Okay? And another thing is like different papers. The most objective paper and where the chances of getting marks very objectively is theory paper. Why? Because it is all very technical and there is very limited thing where you have to use or where you can use anything which is too general. So consolidate it, and on theory rest of the part is built. I will tell you how you can use your theory for contemporary Indian government and politics, for international relations. And don't think international relations is current affairs. They will come from the topic, but we will contextualize it. Suppose a very important question I feel is related to the world order due to or after the Ukrainian war. So how are we going to do all these questions? A lot of things will remain same. And again, this is like make this a successful attempt and have a proper strategy. And I always suggest that political science students have an edge in ethics, essay, and your optional. So don't miss that. Try, if suppose you have given exam last year, you got 130, try to bring it from 130 to 150 plus. Ethics is also somewhere where you can have a definite edge over others. And for that, I have also devised a specific program just for unko bula lo jara Jay sir ko. So just 5 minutes, sir will tell if anybody wants, he will what is his course program when that is starting on essay and ethics. Fine. The rest is whatever I am doing on a daily basis. Even same thing you go and write, that will be sufficient. One more thing, don't think there will be a complete coherence between the test papers and the classes. Okay, that you prepare on the basic notes which you have, and towards the end things will fall in place. Okay, so Jay, just quickly what is specific program? Yeah.
So I won't take much time, not more than 5 minutes. I've also got a rush. So one of the things I think ma'am would have anyways briefed you about your political science strategy and everything. Needless to say, essay is something that political science will immensely help you in, right? Especially in philosophical essays. Primarily, in fact, we've seen a lot number of students, even in this year's paper, were pol science students who got good 130 marks also in their essay paper. Partly, and the philosophical things, 7 out of 8 topics this year were philosophical topics. So you know where the direction is, more focusing on philosophical topics. Now, to that particular extent, all that you need to focus on is primarily, there are one broad categories of your issue-based topics, others of your philosophical topics, right? Now, the issue-based topics are relatively easier to write because of one simple thing, that all throughout your GS, you've been doing issues. If it's a topic like globalization or a topic like migration, both of which will be strong themes this year because of the questions being raised about the future of globalization or about how migration, we've seen, has played a very important role, and probably the structural, one could say, weaknesses associated with the whole pattern of development which has led to migration and the challenges associated with it. So topics like these are relatively easier to write because आपने कुछ ना कुछ GS में कहीं ना कहीं तो पढ़ाई है, and the rest you all have this habit that, or we all in fact could say that, how to expand a GS answer into an essay. कि वो 3 पेज में 10 नंबर का लिखना है, उसको 10 पेज में खींच देना है. इशू, चैलेंज, वे फॉरवर्ड, है ना. तो वो कहानी बहुत टाइम से चल रही है. सो इवन दैट इज समथिंग दैट यूपीएससी नोज कि आपने थोड़ा था एक क्रैक कर लिया है. तो दैट इज व्हाई दे आल्सो पार्टली शिफ्टेड फ्रॉम टू फिलोसॉफिकल एसेज. People who are from pol science background, philosophical essays is a great opportunity and to score well, and madam's classes themselves will partly help you in gaining that insight. But there's also a challenge. And the challenge for political science students is not to fall into the trap of writing a political science essay answer in the grab of an essay. If the topic last year was rational is real, real is rational. The students are like, okay, Hegel's view on rationality and reality I have to write. That is not the case. In fact, you have to do the opposite. It is not Hegel's view on rationality and reality that matters. Perhaps it's your view on rationality and reality and how the two are interlinked matters. So for people, and you know, I was talking to one of the toppers also who wrote on rationality and reality, and she said, I'm forgetting the name of the student, some 123rd ranked student, and she said, I knew, I did not even remember in the paper that it was a Hegel's quote. And I did not write anything about Hegel in the whole essay, and still I got 132 marks. Okay, so please don't fall into this trap that because you've read a thinker, the question is thinker. Thinker लिखने के लिए आपको your optional paper is more than sufficient. So partly to meet the needs of your essay program, of your essay portion, apart from your political science classes, so what we have as an essay program are roughly around 7 to 8 tests, and corresponding to that 7 to 8 classes. The thrust will primarily be on philosophical essays, but also on some important contemporary themes like globalization, like gender, like migration, and partly like education and health. But more importantly on philosophical themes, whether it is on materialism, okay, justice, injustice, more importantly on, for example, even themes like rationality, reality, and then you can go through that.
We have given them.
Ji. And even this list of topics will probably change and move more towards philosophical things. The last thing is all the political science students, apart from your political science classes, the current affairs coverage related to GS paper 2 and 3. For that, you will have separate classes in addition to the political science classes, and that is being provided to all the political science crash course students. Those classes will happen on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, the GS2, because GS 1, 2, 3 का जो भी current oriented चीजें, IR तो आपका यहीं हो जाएगा, but 1, 2, 3 के और जो current oriented topics हैं, Saturday and Sunday 5 PM you'll have the class. That will be in addition to Shubhra ma'am's class.
Is it online also?
All the classes will be offline and online, both available to you. And I think ma'am, that was it. And yeah, the essay program begins from the 24th of this month, and starting from 11 AM. Please do not wait too much for the prelims examination result this year. It may be delayed, क्योंकि पिछले साल तक विंडो बहुत कम था, तो वो 20 दिन में रिजल्ट दे रहे थे. इस बार the window is a bit more, so they may even delay the result. So, okay, ma'am, I'll see. Thank you.
So thank you, Jay. So besides international relations, current affairs, so you will be also getting current affairs in general on your account, जो भी है. And now Sahil Sahil takes ethics here. I have told a very crisp program for ethics. If anybody wants to know, just tell them in what way you will be conducting. in a 2-3 minutes, then we'll start.
Hi everyone, good evening. Okay, so I will be conducting the ethics, which is the third vertical in the trilogy module that we have started. See, I'll just be summing up the message that I want to give in 2-3 lines. See, we always talk about that the smart work is the most important thing in the UPSC exam. You don't just need to work hard, you need to work smart. Now, when we talk about the smart work, particularly with respect to the ethics GS paper number 4, there is always a Pareto principle that is at play. Now, what is this Pareto principle? Pareto principle says that the 80% of the consequences or the 80% of the results, 80% of the output is by 20% of the input that we give. And that particular thing is true in the ethics paper number 4 as well. So actually the 80% of the questions are coming from the 20% of the syllabus that has been provided by the commission. For example, every year the question on the values is coming. This year 20 marks worth of questions were onto the ethical traits of the civil servants, the values that are required into a civil servant. So basically in the crash course module that we have designed here we have identified, after analyzing the papers that have been asked since 2013, that what are these 20% areas which can yield 80% of the questions into the UPSC. Fine. And in the crash course, we have actually designed the 8 classes which will cover all the 8 units which have been mentioned in the UPSC syllabus. After that, there will be the full comprehensive, two full-length tests will be there, which will try to test that what you have learned, what is your command over the ethics, whether the presentation skills are apt or not. Apart from that, there will be the regular answer writing test also that will be there. For example, we have covered one unit. You will be given a question bank. In that particular question bank, all the questions related to that unit will be given, which you have to write, and then you will be given a detailed evaluation on that particular thing. So the course will consist 8 classes on the 8 units, followed by the 2 full-length tests that will be there. So in every unit, we'll be identifying we'll even also be covering the questions particularly from that particular unit that has been asked from 2013 to 2021. So in this particular thing, we aim to cover this ethics module. The classes are going to start from 28th of June. In week, we'll be having 2 classes, and in 8 classes, after that 2 full-length tests and the discussion will be there. So this is the way in which we intend to do this course. Fine. And as you know that the ethics is a low-hanging fruit. Scoring 140, 130 marks is possible in the ethics. Even this year, rank 1, her score was 139 in ethics GS paper number 4. Now 140 marks is in one of the GS paper is really a big deal. And scoring that, it is not some hard science. So this is something that we are learning here. Okay. So thank you everyone. I look forward to this course. Thank you.